Drop squats. I really love the drop squats as a way to start with a plyometric squat variation. Let's face it, before you learn how to jump, you really need to learn how to land. And that's what this exercise is focused on. Great way to burn the legs out, but it's a much safer variation than your typical jumping squat. So for the drop squat, Janelle's gonna sit up basically feet underneath the hips. And I usually start a little bit narrower, and that's okay. Okay, and then from here, what she's essentially doing is you want to think about she's going to jump down. And what I mean by that is she's basically going to drop and catch herself at the bottom of a jump. So imagine if she had jumped up and she wants to catch herself at the bottom. So it's a drop squat. She's just dropping into the squat position. Check it out. Good. Do one more. Good. And when Janelle does it, she's got a little bit of a bounce to it. She kind of does a little bit of an up before she goes down. What we really want to do, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but she's experienced, so I want to show try it one more time with just literally don't go up and then down, just drop down. Okay. One more time, drop it down. Good. She's got that little bounce, and that's okay, but that's just her little quirk, and that's fine. You might have that, okay? But you'll notice she does a great job of just opening the legs and falling into the bottom position, the bottom of that squat. I want to show it from the side, and I want you to stick to landing.
Like stay in the bottom?
Stay in the bottom. Boom, and then you can come up, okay? So when she's doing that drop squat, she's getting the full depth, okay, and she's maintaining posture. So two things to watch out for. If you can't get the butt all the way down, we're talking butt level or below the knees, okay? Or if you do that, but you're completely round your back out at the bottom, this exercise, you're not quite there yet, okay? We want to make sure that we're able to maintain a perfect squatting position in that plyometric or that explosive fashion. So master the body weight squat, be able to stick that bottom, and you can add in the drop squat to get a little bit more explosiveness. And there you go, drop squats. I'm going to show you some push-up variations. We're going to start off first with the setup. When we get down in position, I like to have the thumbs lined up basically with the nipples and the hands spread nice and wide apart. Head is neutral. I'm going to show you the modified version first. Is pull those feet back towards you. Elbows are tucked into the side and pushing up. Okay, we want to make sure we're not arching the back. We're not nose diving. We're just letting the belly button and the chest drop together and come up together. Once we've mastered that, of course, we come up to the toes. Wider the feet are, the easier it's going to be. The narrower the feet are, the harder it's going to be. Elbows in, drive up. Elbows in, drive up. We can go to a 1 foot variation. Elbows in and drive up. Each time I keep saying elbows in, I want the elbows here. We're going to work chest, shoulders, triceps. I don't want you out here putting your shoulder in a very compromised position. We can sometimes do a wide grip, but we're still going to have the elbows in. That's really going to protect your shoulders. Okay, so keep that in mind with each of those variations of the push-up. Keep the trunk solid, like basically a straight, neutral spine. Okay, think core when you're doing your push-ups. Squeeze your butt, push through the belly button, drive through the floor. The resistance band swing. So for the resistance band swing, Janelle's going to go ahead and actually step in nice and wide. So she'll put 1 foot on and then go nice and wide. And basically she's going to kind of walk her way so that she's about the width of the band. Now for the swing, she's only going to grab the top of the two sides to the band. So she's going to squat down, grab that band. Okay. Now, a little bit different than the kettlebell swing. The hip motion is all going to be identical, okay? But obviously there's not going to be a throwing back of the kettlebell because we're using the band here, so it's a little bit different. But the setup is important. We want to show you that, and then just show you a little bit of the motion. We'll give you a front view and a side view. So just go ahead and demonstrate that swing. So just like with the kettlebell swing, it's like she's driving down towards her crotch, if you will, and then she's going to snap back, and that's what the swing is. Driving down, and she's snapping forward. So again, think about the hips driving forward, coming up tall. Watch your lean back, Janelle. Okay, watch your lean back. You're leaning back too much, okay? Good. All right, take a break, okay? Just done a lot of exercise today. With the resistance band swing, you do have to be cautious. If you notice in the beginning, Janelle was leaning back a bit. That tends to happen when you're using the band because you really want to pull on that band. You've got to make sure that you're stopping up tall with that band, shoulder blade squeezed back. I really actually do like the band version of this because you get a different feel and it really stability. It challenges stability quite a bit, and that upper back, you got to hold that position there, and the band is pulling down really hard, and you tend to want to overcompensate. So you got to really watch out for that. The swing can also be done with a one-arm variation. It's going to be essentially identical, but with one hand, and just really stabilizing. Again, using the breath, exploding at the top, watching the extra rotation. She looks great. Okay, that is going to be the one-arm version of that swing. So, 2 hands, 1 hand. Things to watch for is just like with a regular swing, it's all about the hips going back and forward. But with that band, you really have to watch out for that excessive lean back because the upper back is really getting taxed. That is going to be the resistance band swing. Squat rows. This is a great total body exercise. Let me go through the setup with you first. Okay, we've already got one hooked up. We're going to take the band, we're going to go down to the lower bar here and hook that up like so, and then we'll clip on the handle. Now, if you're at home, this is where you're going to use your door utility strap, your band utility strap, and you're going to put it underneath the lowest hinge on your door. Close it just like you normally do, and then pull them up, and they'll be down at a pretty low angle. You could do it on the second hinge, below the second hinge as well, to change up the angle a little bit. Okay, this exercise actually can be done both ways. So what Janelle's going to do is she's going to grab those handles, and essentially what we're doing is we're combining a squat with a row. So you want to make sure that first and foremost you step back far enough that you've got tension immediately. You can't let the band go slack. You're going to end up, falling down. So you're kind of like in this water skier type mode. Okay, so good posture. So what Janelle's going to do, and this is people get confused on when to actually do the row. Okay, the row is on the up. So you're starting with the bands out. So your first time, you're actually not going to pull. You're going to kind of double up here. So she's already got the bands out. She's going to squat, still having the bands, and then she's going to come and she's going to pull in. Okay, so out and in, down and the up. Okay, now you can turn the hands and pull as you go, or you can keep neutral. That's up to you. It's more about constant preference level. But you got to keep that in mind. The biggest mistake that you'll see here is the bands going out on the way up and in on the way down, and you get all kind of confused. So once again, it's going to be down and out, up and in. Okay, and with this exercise, you can actually do it slow and heavy, or you can go really, really fast and more ballistic and get a little bit more cardiovascular aspect out of it as well. So this is actually a really great total body cardio conditioning exercise. It's also a really great total body strengthening exercise. It can be used either way, and that is the squat row. Burpees, okay, everybody's favorite total body core cardio crusher at home. All right, so the burpee is a great exercise, but it's probably one of the most abused exercises on the planet. So we're going to break it down in several different steps that you can use in your burpee program. So the first one, which we're just actually going to show you, just a bodyweight sumo deadlift. And for this, let's have you face forward for the first one. Just a nice wide stance. And we're using a step here. You can use something at home. It could be a step if you have one. It could be actually your stairs, a small ottoman or something like that. Because what you're probably going to find is you're not going to be able to reach the floor without compromising the integrity of the exercise. You want to be able to squat down and maintain a good neutral spine. Okay, so do a couple of positions there. That's going to be kind of like our most basic level. We're going to call that the bodyweight sumo deadlift or sumo deadlift touch, and you can do that for speed, for reps. That's probably where we're going to, a lot of people are going to start this exercise. If they're looking for a cardio exercise to get the body moving, that's a really great one. Open up the hips. Okay, from the side, just so we can see the posture, we've got a nice flat back. Now, just to give you an example, if I pull this away from Janelle, okay, let's see how far she can go. It's basically going to be about that block. That's why we set it up. But after that, if she tries to touch the floor, watch what happens. Okay, there's a little bit of roundness going on there, okay? When you start doing lots and lots of reps, that's going to add up, especially when you turn it into the full-on burpee. So that's where the step comes into play. Okay, it's going to allow us to do a much better, much safer, more effective burpee. So part one is just getting that deadlift or squat pattern going. Okay, it's really more like a deadlift because you got that hip hinge going. From here, we're going to go into a step-by-step burpee. Okay, so you're going to step 1 foot out at a time. We're going to lock each position. Go ahead. So down, out, out, in, and up. Okay? Now, what we want to be paying attention to is when she comes in, notice the feet. They're right up by the step. You've got to be able to get your feet all the way up next to your hands, next to the step. If you're coming short, okay, you've got to work on some hip mobility first. Okay? So really pay attention to what's happening there. So one more time. Down, step all the way out, step all the way out, stop there. You should be able to lock this position. This is your high plank position. Okay? So the butt's not sagging. Okay, see, it doesn't feel very good. You want to be in a neutral position, so go to the correct position. And you don't want to be way up here either. Okay, so get your neutral position. So that's where you should land right there, and then bring the feet in, and come on up. Okay, now we can go from there into the regular traditional 2-foot burpee. Go ahead. Down, out, in, and up. And you notice when she went out, she stuck it. Okay, that's really important. You got to stick the landing so that hips don't drop and pop. That's when you start getting some pain in your lower back. Okay, so that's going to be the regular traditional burpee, and then from there we could add in things like push-ups and jumps and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's just go ahead and show a burpee plus jump. Okay, burpee plus jump, and then you can go into the next rep and into the next rep. You can add a push-up at the step. There's all kinds of fun stuff you can do from that point. But that is going to be your basic burpee.